Hey everybody, and welcome to Jack's Treasures with our Monday storage unit tips.
Yes, I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
And Jack is actually behind the shirts right there. We have some shirts set up because we have a Whatnot show later on today. Primetime Spotlight, hosted by Paul Philly Flipper and Heather Vintage Resale Therapy. Okay, so today is Monday. We're actually filming this on Sunday. Today's Sunday, but it's Monday when this is going to be coming out. And on Mondays, we like to give you guys storage unit tips. It's probably the biggest question that Tracy and I get asked a lot of, mainly because that's what we do. We buy a lot of storage units. That's how we really started to build our eBay business. Both of our eBay businesses, we have two stores, was by buying storage units. And buying storage units buys you a lot of stock, but it gets into today's topic, okay, which Tracy is very, very excited about today's topic because I'm probably the worst at today's topic. So, Tracy, what is today's
I'm excited.
Topic?
Don't be afraid to let it go. Let it go.
Yes.
When you buy a storage unit.
When you buy a storage unit, okay, I sit there and I look at a storage unit and I say, okay, we spent, $1,000 on the storage unit. But my first instinct is I need to get at least $1,000 out of that storage unit before I could start tossing stuff away, before I could start donating it, before I could start giving it to friends, throwing it in the trash, whatever it may be. My first instinct is always to make that money first, no matter what it is. Okay, I could pick up a dirty bag of clothes, and I'm looking at the dirty bag of clothes and going, I can run this on Whatnot for $1. I can run it on $1. I can get it on $1. And Tracy just looks at it and she goes, let it go.
Let it go.
Just let it go. And it is a huge problem with a lot of people that buy storage units. They buy the storage unit, or they get, they buy a storage unit and they pay a certain price for that storage unit. And their instinct is that if somebody stored it, it has to have value. Okay. I'm here to tell you right now, guys, and this is not my opinion. Okay, because you can ask any other storage buyers out there. Ask Storage Unit Pirates, or was it Storage?
Storage Unit Pirate.
Yeah, ask Storage Unit or Storage Auction Pirate on Whatnot. Ask him, okay? Ask any of the guys that are on Storage Wars, okay? When you buy a storage unit, people put anything in it, okay? They put trash. We have gotten trash in storage units. We've gotten food in storage units. We've gotten frozen food in storage units. Now, obviously, when we got it, that shit wasn't frozen.
Ground beef.
Yes. It was nasty.
We've gotten 2 tons worth of beans in a storage unit once.
That's right. Now, we've gotten a literally pickle jar full of pee.
Yes.
From a storage unit.
This jar.
Yeah, so yeah, it was awful. We paid $10 for the unit, and I think the guy lived in the unit.
Yeah,
okay,
we are in the Atlanta area, and you find all kinds.
Yeah, so my saying that I always tell people, and it's a saying that we adopted from playing poker, is don't marry your items, don't marry your stuff. Okay, when you marry your stuff, you do the next saying, which I can't take credit for because I heard it from Shipping Wars. And that saying is a nickel holding up $1. And what does that mean? I mean, it sounds very, very simple, but what does that mean?
You're tripping over those nickels to try. You're trying to make $1, but you keep tripping over the nickels when you're doing it. Like, for instance, let's say I get a storage unit and it's got 5 awesome lounge flies in it. That's awesome. I'm going to make money off those. But
it also has these.
Yes, it has tons of VHS. It has some DVDs. It has some Old Navy clothes. And I bring all of that home. Well, maybe I accidentally bury the lounge flies underneath all that other stuff and I can't get to it. Those nickels are holding up the $1 of selling the lounge flies.
Or simply you're spending your time listing something that you're going to make $1 on versus something you could make $40 on.
Right.
So nickels holding up $1. Are you going to make money? Yeah, but is it worth it with the time? Because with a storage unit, generally you get a lot of merchandise straight up front.
Yes.
Ton of merchandise, depending on the unit, obviously. We get a ton of merchandise. So if I go through and try to pull every damn nickel out of that storage unit, I am passing over all of that time that I could be using to get to those dollars.
One thing I have had to remind him in the past, which he's gotten a lot better of it now, is there's always another unit.
Yeah.
We don't need to hold on to those little items for tomorrow, because we can get another unit that's going to have more of the higher quality, the items we like to sell, things like that tomorrow, if we let this go today.
Yeah. So when you're buying a unit, always have in your plan a way to get rid of items that you either deem not worthy of anybody dealing with, like 25 bags or 100 bags of navy beans, or food, or straight up trash.
People's junk mail. That's common.
That's a very, very common thing that people put in storage units, is their mail, the junk mail that they get. They all keep it and they just throw it in storage units, whatever it may be.
Sometimes the facilities won't take it back. Sometimes the facilities will, because it's personal items. Some facilities are just like, no, we're not dealing with it. So.
Yeah. A lot of times we always ask the facility, but that's something that we're going to be talking about in another one when we talk about what to do when you get the storage unit. But don't be afraid to give items to a Goodwill. We have literally bought in a storage unit, loaded the truck, and on the way home stopped at a Goodwill and gave them a lot.
One time, and I think we may have talked about this before, actually rented a U-Haul, took everything straight from the unit, and drove to the dump to dump things and just pick out a few of the items to keep. This was a very special situation where the unit had some water damage inside of it that was not seen in the pictures. And
I don't even know if we really bought that unit or if that was one that was given to us by the facility.
No, the one I'm talking about is the one with the dead rat in it, where the guy, people at the facility, the man who ran the facility was high as Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson put together. Super nice guy.
But he was a very, very nice guy. We found the dead rat in there, and it wasn't like a dead rat. It was like the carcass
decayed
of a dead rat. And he said, just leave it. And I said, okay. But, don't be afraid to throw stuff away. Now, here's my one thing with this, okay? And I know a lot of people are guilty of this because I've literally seen it. You go into a Goodwill or whatever charitable organization, thrift store, whatever it is that you donate all of these things to.
Interrupt for a second.
Yes.
A lot of people will say don't donate to Goodwill because Goodwill doesn't necessarily do good things. The reason we donate to Goodwill is because of the sheer volume of donations we have would overwhelm the charities in our neighborhood that do more good, whereas Goodwill has the employees and the space to handle it. So we do donate a lot to Goodwill. It's not because I support Goodwill and I think they do amazing things. It is because
I'm going to get smacked in the face again. I can already tell. Okay. She's animated today because she's excited, because she loves this topic, because this topic is my big downfall.
And it's my mom's birthday.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, it's a day after your mom's birthday.
But today,
my mom's birthday is tomorrow, which is actually Tuesday. 2 days from today, but tomorrow when you see the video. Will you quit doing that? Okay. But whatever charitable organization or whatever thrift store that you donate all of this stuff to, please do not give them trash. No. Okay? I've seen it. Goodwill does not want dirty underwear. They don't want dirty socks. They don't want particle board entertainment centers. I literally watched them taking a wobbly entertainment center off of the back of a trailer of a truck, walking it into the Goodwill. Not our truck. And taking it in there. Mattresses, they will not take mattresses. Don't even take them to mattresses to a Goodwill.
Talk to them about outdated electronics. Ours takes them and recycles them. Yeah. So I don't mind taking them printers and old TVs and things. Some of them do not, and they are going to have to throw those away. Yeah. So you should throw them away instead of burdening them.
What ends up happening is it adds to the cost of items in the store. Yep. So when thrifter resellers are going into the store to do picking, it adds the cost because they have to pay for all of that garbage runs and all of that
labor
stuff. Okay. So what Tracy and I do is when we're looking at a unit, if I see mattresses right inside that unit, I count I said 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, because it cost me $20 to take every mattress to our local dump.
Yes.
So I know that I'm factoring in that dump run to every single unit that we buy. I factor in at least 1 to 2 dump runs, depending on the size of the unit, because I have a trailer and I can load up the trailer very, very big. And generally speaking, in our area, I don't know about every area, because I know in California, it is excruciatingly expensive to take things to the dump. For ours, we get the first 500 pounds for $20.
Yeah.
So then sometimes they'll weigh us out and I have to end up paying like 28, 29, whatever it may be.
They also take metal for recycling at
Yeah.
the same facility. So if we have metal items, we will put that there. And hopefully, then that keeps it out of the
keeps it out of the
landfill.
landfills. We want to keep stuff out of the landfill. So when we're going through these units, if it's straight, we know that like say good. Okay, here's a great example. Last storage that unit Tracy and I bought. You guys can see the past videos on that. When we did the opening of that video, we literally counted close to 100 3-hole punches. Okay, metal 3-hole punches. Now, could I take those to Goodwill? Sure. Is Goodwill going to want that? Not in a million years. Okay, they'll take 1 or 2, which I have given them 1 or 2, but I'm not going to give them hundreds of 3-hole punches. That's just a ridiculous amount of 3-hole punches. So we took them to the dump, and I threw them in the metal area right over and scrapped them. Okay, so that's a great example. Yes, it has value, but I cannot burden a Goodwill with that. I might have taken them to Shop Commons, but again, metal, huge weight. Nobody's going to want this. What am I going to sell them for? A penny a piece? $10, and it's going to cost me $50 to ship 100 of these things. The logistics of it was just impossible to do. So in that case, I classified that as trash, or we didn't take it as trash. We recycled it and at the metal part of the dump. Now, what other ways can you get rid of items that you don't want to sell, but they might have some value to somebody?
If you have access to any sort of a trade-in or consignment store, that can be an amazing tool. Think like GameStop. GameStop takes games. Yep. Plato's Closet, they take clothes.
There's a couple of one. There's the one that
Uptown
does the kids.
Cheapskate just opened in our neighborhood. I haven't even been there yet. But,
again, she almost poked my eye out.
What was the name of that kids one we were in the other day?
Oh my gosh, it was like it's associated with Plato's Closet too, and it was like right in front of it, but I forgot the name of it. And they'll not only will they take kids' clothing, they'll take kids' books too, and kids' toys and things like that. Another one is bookstores.
Once Upon a Child, that's what it's called.
That's it. Yeah, Once Upon a Child. That we stopped at the one in Chattanooga. But bookstores. We have one that's called Second and Charles. That's one that's very, very close to us. The problem with Second and Charles is the Second and Charles cherry picks. So when you bring them a tub, they'll cherry pick out the best stuff and they'll give you some store credit or cash, whatever you may want. But you have to take the other books. You can't just drop them off. We have another a facility called McKay's. They're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and also in North Carolina, which are phenomenal because they'll take the stuff even if you don't want it back.
If they reject it, then they donate or give away the items that they don't take. So that has become a very important resource for us. We take a lot of bulk media, mostly bulk media, but some like DVDs, toys and games and things too.
One. When we get DVDs for a long time, and I will let you know this, I donated a large storage box from Home Depot. So this box was like 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. And I had that completely full with DVDs, and I gave it to Goodwill. Probably could have gotten a lot more money from it by taking it to McKay's, but we didn't have a McKay's at that time. So search out those consignment stores that will take some of your items. There are now Plato's Closet. That's one that they want higher end things, no doubt. But there are some that are the regular store brands, the Walmart brands, the Kohl's brands, the Marshall, all of those types of things. Tracy mentioned GameStop. GameStop is a good one. Okay, they take a lot of that stuff. But the one thing you don't want to do, the biggest thing you don't want to do, is you don't want to add dead stock to your death pile, because you are then burying. That is basically the quintessential nickel holding up a dollar.
And that's one thing we've had to learn to ask ourselves when we're bringing something in. If it's not going straight into a whatnot show and it's not going like in our pile for consignment or whatever, why are we holding on to this item? What is our intention with it? Are we going to put this on eBay?
Yeah, and when she says straight onto a whatnot show, she doesn't mean that we're running a whatnot show that night.
Yeah, but
it might be we have shelves, and we have shelves for eBay, Amazon, whatnot, Mercari, even the
do
Facebook
we have a
Marketplace.
plan to flip this very quickly?
Correct, and that's what we do is we put those things on those things. That's the death pile. We did a video on the death pile. So again, this is just our opinions. So if you have a differing opinion, if you're a storage unit buyer and you've run into some issues with getting rid of things because you feel like you pay too much for a storage unit. You get to the storage unit and you open it up and it's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to get more stuff, or thought it was going to be better quality. Furniture is the worst, okay? Because with furniture, when usually it's in a storage unit for some oddball reason, especially in our area, the quality of it is very, very bad. So we don't get those storage units that have the $1,000 furniture that we could turn around and flip.
Mainly that's because we don't source those units.
No, we don't, because I don't have the space.
We don't want furniture. Furniture is a byproduct of buying a storage unit for us, not a benefit.
And when we get it, we flip it right on. I have sold. Okay, here's a great example. We bought a storage unit at Extra Space Storage in Powder Springs. There was a 9-foot couch, leather couch in there with auto recliners. I don't have the space. No way do I have the space. I sold that out of the unit in one day.
And the same thing with basketball hoops twice. We've done 2 basketball hoops that same way.
Yeah, I think I sold that one like almost in an hour. And the guy came and picked it up. He had a Cadillac Escalade. I was sitting there looking at it going, this thing ain't going to fit in there.
It did.
Nope, it did. It just kept going and going and going and going.
For us, furniture will be priced cheap and it's priced to move.
Right.
And the less I have to touch it, the better.
Yeah. Clothes is the same thing. A lot of clothes that we were getting. Now, of course, we would always look for certain things.
Yeah. I'll search through them, but most clothes for me go straight to Goodwill.
Yeah. Yeah, or to McKay's if it's any kind
like
of...
a graphic tee or something. Right.
So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Any comments down below, whether you like it or don't like it, let us know.
Yes.
Okay? Because we are trying to grow our channel and we want people to interact in the chat, including you, Roman. So I had to get my Roman.
You did have to get your Roman.
All right, so, also, Tracy always puts down a link down below. Guys, help us stop soldier suicide. 20 soldiers a day are committing suicide on average in the United States. I think that number should be drastically lower. I'm realistic, but if we could save one person, just one soldier from committing suicide a day, that would be a phenomenal feat. So the link is down below. It is Stop Soldier Suicide. It is a very reputable charitable organization.
Yep.
And as always,
pet a cat.
Thank you very much, guys. Peace out.